Alright, so we're going to do a dice installation in an X5. And this particular car is equipped with the DSP system, so we'll go over the differences between the two, but we'll start by just removing the side panel, exposing the rear quarter panel of the car. If your car is a DSP equipped car, we're going to do a couple of things a little bit differently. If your car has a CD changer, that is where the wires that we're going to be working with are located. So if your car does not have a CD changer, the 3 and 6 pin connectors are going to be down in this area here. They're found together, and I'll show you what they look like once we take the changer out. So first things first, you'll use your 8mm nut driver to remove the CD changer. You want to go ahead and make sure the magazine is out, because once you disconnect power, you won't be able to get the magazine out without reconnecting it. So it's just held in by 4 8mm bolts. This particular car only had 3 of them there. Yours should have 4. So once you remove the bolts, the changer just slides out, and you can see, like I said, this car is the DSP equipped, so we'll go over that here in just a moment. If your car is not a DSP car, there will be a 6-pin plug plugged into this portion of the changer, or the 6-pin plug will be down in this area. Here's the 3-pin plug. So if your car does not have a changer, it's usually tucked right down in this area here with the 6-pin plug as well. So you'll pull those out, and those will be the wires that we use. You want to make sure though that the brown wire in the factory harness is on the outside of the plug. You can see here there's a white, a red, green, and then a brown. You want to make sure the brown is on the outside and not in the middle. If it's in the middle, it's the phone plug, so we don't want to mess with that. We just need to use this 3-pin here. It's fine. Okay, I can't see. So what we'll do, it's very straightforward. We'll go ahead and disconnect this coaxial cable. This is the DSP cable, the communication port. The audio communicates through this port here, so we'll remove it completely because we don't need it. We have a new one that comes with our DSP module, which is here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to power up the DSP module first. Now keep in mind, if you don't have DSP in your car, you're not going to have to do any of this. So we'll start at a later point and we'll talk about that. So you'll take the cable, the coax, you'll snap it down onto the amplifier. It'll snap into place. Then it snaps onto the DSP module. Then, as you can see, you have another cable. It has the 6-pin connector on one end and the RCAs on the other. This is the 6-pin connector that would be in your car if you did not have DSP. You would find these two together. They would live right down here, and we'd plug the cable in and get it up to the front. In this case, we're going to have to create the 6-pin, so we'll plug the RCA cables into the module. Leave these hanging out because we're going to plug them into the dice cable, which we're going to run up to the front of the car here in a moment. And we now need to get power for the DSP module. And to do that, it comes with a little power harness here. You don't need all the length that it comes with. Go ahead and plug it into the module. Usually cut it, maybe 10 to 12 inches long. You don't need the rest of it. You have 2 wires. You can just use your fingers to pull them apart, and you'll notice you have a white stripe on one wire and a solid black on the other. Well, it's got a little bit of writing, but the white stripe is our positive, so that's what we're going to take to 12 volts, or a constant power. And the easiest place to find that is down here on the amplifier. You can see in this main harness here, we have a big brown wire, and we have a big green and red wire. Those are the wires we're going to use. And so we'll take a pair of dikes or a pair of wire strippers, whichever you're more comfortable with. I just pierce the wire a little bit, strip the insulation back, and we're going to solder our connections here. You don't necessarily have to solder them. Just wrapping them in electrical tape is sufficient. I recommend soldering them, but if you don't have a soldering iron, it's certainly not the end of the world. Not going to hurt anything. So we'll strip the wire with the white stripe. We'll strip about 1 inch back. Whoop. And then we'll take it and we'll twist it around the wire, and then we'll grab our soldering iron. Plug it in right here. And go ahead and solder the connection. It may take your gun a little bit to heat up. This is a really hot gun. And you want to be careful not to have the tip of the gun touching anything else, because it will burn. So be careful. You don't want to get any on the carpet, any solder on the carpet. I would probably advise putting down a piece of paper, a towel or something. And so you'll just solder your connection there. Get good coverage. And pull the gun off. I'm going to get you over here. And then we will take our electrical tape, tape up the connection, tape it up very well. We can't chance this touching any other wires. It would cause a short. So now we'll move over to the brown wire, do the same thing for the ground, and this also ensures that there won't be any noise in the system, because the units share grounding points. So there are no loops, and you won't have any of that annoying alternator whine. Again, you don't have to, if you don't have a soldering gun, it's not a big deal. Just make sure you wrap the wires tight around each other and tape them very, very well. They'll never come loose. But we do recommend soldering. You can get a soldering gun at Home Depot or Lowe's or an Ace Hardware or something for about $25 for a good one that'll last you forever. It's just a good tool to have any number of projects. And so you'll tape those wires up. Again, be careful, you will burn your fingers. It's 500 degrees. And so now our connections are complete. Our DSP connections are complete going to the amplifier. So at this point, I like to just take a little bit of electrical tape, clean up my connections, make it look nice and neat, because we've got to hide some of these wires and clean them up, make them look a little bit nicer. So I just take the electrical tape that I was using to tape up my other connections. Just tape it up a little bit. Depending on how anal you are, you can completely. And at this point, you would probably just want to take this and Velcro it to the amplifier rack right here or anywhere back here, but you really would like to keep it as far away from all the other wires as possible to minimize any chances of interference. So at this point, we now have created our audio input here, and then here is our power plug. So here's the 6-pin connector and the 3-pin connector, and at this point we will stop the camera and proceed to routing the wire to the front.